And now we're going to create paddles for our ball to hit. So again, we're going to insert an active object. So right click, insert object, active. You get your plus sign, you click, and it will change to a diamond. And then you're going to double click, nice and fast. Oopsie. Let's get rid of that. Try again. We're just want to get to the point where we can edit it. Once you're to the point where you can edit it, then we want to click the new piece of paper. And again, we're going to just use our paint bucket tool, and I'm going to choose something that goes nicely. What would go nicely with orange maybe? My ball is green. Maybe I'll choose blue. And so now you've just filled this in with blue. Doesn't look like a paddle yet. That's okay. Say okay. And a paddle needs to be a little bit longer. If you make it really long, it makes your game much easier. So you can, but I'm going to make it narrower. I don't want my paddle to be that thick. Once you have your paddle the way that you want it, it doesn't really matter whether the ball hits the right paddle or the left paddle. We want the same thing to happen. So we're going to right click on this paddle and we're going to duplicate. No. Actually, let's go ahead and clone so that we could give them different programming if we want it. We do want to do that. So we want to clone. Again, it makes it look like a really long paddle. It just duplicate it right underneath it. So we cloned our paddles. And we do want to give them their own names. So the first one I created was on the left-hand side of the screen. So I'm going to right-click on Active, Rename, and this is going to be Left Paddle. And then hit Enter or OK. And my other paddle, I'm going to rename it. And it's going to be Right Paddle. And now we're going to go and program our ball to bounce when it hits one of these paddles. So we're going to go to our event editor. If you look at the top of the screen, it looks like a calendar. Click on Event Editor, New Condition. And now we're going to right-click on the ball. When it collisions with another object, and this is where it's nice to, because the walls can look a lot like the paddles, but because we've renamed them, we can see what is what. So we're going to say, okay, when it collides with the left paddle, okay. And before, I just wanted my ball to bounce, and since I want my ball to do the same thing, I can click on this and drag it down, and my ball will bounce. And now I'm going to say New Condition, because we've only done one of the paddles, so we're going to right-click on our ball, Collisions with another object. This time it'll be the left paddle, I believe. That was right paddle here. Okay. Left paddle. Oh, both of mine are left paddle. All right, so I messed up. So I'm going to right-click on it and say Edit. And I want it to be the other paddle. So when my ball collides with my right paddle, so if you make a mistake, you can edit it. And again, when this condition happens, when the ball and this right paddle collide, all I want the ball to do is bounce. So I click on the check mark and drag it down. And so now we could run this. And I didn't really get to check it, and my paddles don't move. So I don't know whether my ball bounces when it meets the paddle or not. It should. But I do need to get it so my paddles move. So that's our last task for today, is to get our paddles to move. So we're going to return to our frame editor right here. And we're going to click on a paddle. Now remember, before I click on the paddle, my properties box is empty. As soon as I click on that, the properties for that paddle appear. And it says that my paddle is static. Well, that means it's stopped. It's not going to move. Click on the word static. Choose bouncing, not bouncing ball, but 8 directions. And then under the word, or to the right of the word directions, let's click those numbers. And you'll see that we have a lot of arrows. These are all the directions the paddles can move in right now. We don't want them to move all these directions. We only want them to go up and down. So let's reset, lower left-hand corner. And then just click up and down. And then you can click anywhere. And now our paddle should be able to move up and down. Let's do the same thing for the other paddle. Click on the word static. Choose 8 directions. And then click on the numbers to the right of directions. Reset. Choose up and down. And now when we try run frame, when our ball hits our paddles, it does bounce, and you can see that my paddles can go up and down. Now we'll have a glitch that we're going to have to work on tomorrow, that both of my paddles move at the same time. So we will work on that tomorrow so that we can get each to move separately. Just send me an email or give me a call if you have questions. Thanks. Bye.